sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs.
Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Time to Cook. And as you can see, I have 2 special chefs with me today. And we are making something so yummy for your tummy. What are we gonna make, girls?
Krispy Kreme Donuts.
Krispy Kreme Donuts. We are excited and this is kind of a special little video for a special birthday girl today. Are you girls ready to get started and make these donuts?
Yes.
All right, let's go. All right, girls, so the first thing is I have 1.5 teaspoons of yeast in this bowl. Can you guys tell me what yeast is?
It helps the dough rise.
That's right, it helps the dough rise. And what we're going to do is add a little bit of sugar to that yeast because the sugar will feed that yeast and help it to grow. And then we're gonna need some warm water. All right, so I have 1/2 cup of warm water. You don't want it to be too hot because then it'll kill the yeast, but it needs to be warm enough to kind of activate that yeast, okay? So, all right, Scarlett, you want to pour that water in that bowl? Awesome. Is that starting to get foamy? You can see, can't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we have dissolved the yeast in warm water, and then what do we need to do, Harper?
Add milk, sugar, salt, eggs, shortening, and 2 cups of flour.
Right. Okay. Very good. All right, girls, this is 1.5 cups of milk, and I just put it on the stove and heated it until it was almost boiling. And so now what I'm going to do, it's been kind of cooling a little bit. I'm going to pour it in here. Okay, Scarlett, can you add that sugar? Good. Harper, can you add the shortening? All right. And then we will need 2 cups of flour. So I'll let each of you put in a cup. So Harper, go ahead and put in 1 cup. Okay. And then it said we needed salt. Okay, so add that salt, Scarlett. Very good. And then it said the eggs. So go ahead and add the eggs. All right, so we're gonna put on this dough hook. That's what this is called, this attachment here. And we're going to turn this on and start mixing this together. Yeah, just scrape down those sides. That's good. And then go ahead and add this other cup of flour. There you go. All right, girls, so the dough is mixed. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray this bowl and we're gonna put the dough in the bowl. So does one of you want to spray the bowl with nonstick? Okay, spray that bowl really good. All right, Scarlett, now what I want you to do is we're gonna put this dough into that bowl, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this bowl. You take this rubber spatula there and kind of scoop that out into the bowl.
That's easier.
Okay, girls, so we put the dough in the bowl. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this with some plastic wrap or press and seal. And we're gonna let this dough double in size. It's gonna rise, and it's gonna take about 30 to 45 minutes. You think you can wait that long?
Yes.
Okay. We're just gonna let it rise. All right.
Will it rise all the way up?
It may rise all the way up. Yeah, we'll see.
Like SpongeBob would say,
50 hours later.
Okay, so our dough is doubled in size. I know you really can't tell that from looking at this, but it is.
Yeah.
Can you tell it's doubled?
Yeah.
All right, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to sprinkle some flour onto this counter and we're gonna roll this dough out. And then we're going to cut them.
In a glass.
Yeah, we're gonna use this glass. And then this is just the lid to a spice, and that's gonna be the center of our donut. Sometimes you just have to use what you got, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a donut cutter, but this will work fine. So let's sprinkle some flour onto the counter. I'm gonna put this dough, dump that dough.
Whoa.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on top of this dough.
So it's not that sticky?
Yeah. Here, Scarlett, you start rolling. Don't roll it like you want it. You don't want it to be super thin. And then roll it out that way. Yeah, there you go. All right. Okay, hold on a second. You see how this is thick here and this is thin? We want this to be as even as we can get it. Okay, so let's kind of even this out some. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this glass and I'm going to kind of get flour on it.
it's kind of like making biscuits and going.
It is. That's right. Very good. So I'm going to do this. And then push down on that. Well, that worked out pretty good, didn't it?
Yep, that was it.
And we're going to have donut holes too.
Ooh.
Cut all the way down. Yeah. All right, there you go.
Right here?
Yep, in the center.
Cut the donut hole thingy.
All right, there's your and you put the donut holes in there.
This is a perfect size donut.
That's like a perfect donut hole, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, girls, we have 25 donuts and 25 donut holes. That's quite a bit. But now we've got to let these rise again for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to cover them back up with some of this press and seal.
Like SpongeBob would say.
One day later.
All right, so we are going to make the glaze. And so I have a bowl of melted butter, and it's a half a stick of melted butter. So to this, I'm going to add some
Vanilla extract.
vanilla extract, yes. And I'm just going to eyeball this. It's about a teaspoon. Now we're going to start gradually adding some powdered sugar. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of this milk, and I'm just going to gradually add this at a time, a little bit at a time. Go ahead and add another cup of powdered sugar, and then let's add just a little bit because the glaze needs to be a little bit thin because it's going to kind of coat those donuts. All right, girls, are you ready to drop some donuts into this grease?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to gently put them in here. Let me show you how to, because you don't want to drop them. What would happen if you dropped them?
It would
Oil
explode.
go everywhere.
Oil would go everywhere, and you could get burnt. So I'm just going to gently place them in.
Okay.
All right,
Ooh, those are good.
dropping them in.
So,
All right, let's turn them over and see what they look like. All right, I'm going to start taking these donuts out and putting them on the cooling rack.
yeah, there we go.
Okay, so what I'm going to have you guys do is these donuts that are done, I'm going to have you to dunk them. Take this tong like this and dip them in this glaze, okay? And honestly, you can do several at a time. Drop in the donut holes. All right, turn these bad boys over. All right, so now we are gonna roll the donut holes in some cinnamon and sugar. Okay, so Harper, it looks like you have some sprinkles.
Yeah.
All right, so we can sprinkle these donuts right here if you want. All right, I think you girls are anxious to try these donuts, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, well, go for it. Let's try these. Well, thank you all so much for making donuts with me today. We had a lot of fun, didn't we?
Yeah.
All right, and I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with more recipes.